And many people say to me, your God is like Santa Claus. Belief in God is like a child's belief in the tooth fairy. That's a very curious thing to say. I was debating a physicist in the Netherlands, and he said, your belief in God is like belief in Santa Claus. And I said, well, we should test that with the audience. So I asked everyone in the audience to put up their hand if they came to believe in Santa Claus as an adult. And there were nearly 2,000 people there, and there was not one hand went up. And then I said, how many of you came to believe in God as an adult? And hundreds of hands went up. And I turned to this physicist and I said, this is an absurdly childish argument. To put God in the same category as Santa Claus is foolish intellectually, because some of the best brains of history has spent years thinking about the nature of God and writing about the nature of God. There is no such literature about Santa Claus. Of course, Freud is very powerful and very popular still, although not in psychiatry. And the argument that God is a father figure in the sky sounds very impressive. And there's a leading German psychiatrist called Manfred Lutz who's written a book about this, and he said, well, if there is no God, then the Freudian argument that God is a fiction is very good, if there is no God. Of course, he says, if there is a God, the very same argument shows you that atheism is a wish fulfillment. The desire never to have to meet God, for instance, to be judged for the mess that we've made of our lives and the lives of others. As the Polish Nobel Prize winner for literature, Czesław Miłosz, put it, atheism is the great opium of the people. The desire never to have to face the crimes and injuries that we have done to others. So if there is no God, oh, Freud has a wonderful argument that religion is a fiction. If there is a God, the same argument shows you that atheism is a fiction. And then Lutz says, as to the real question, is there a God or not, Freud cannot help you at all. And that came out in rather an amusing way when Stephen Hawking, the world's most famous living scientist, was asked what he thought of religion. And he said, religion is a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. And I was asked to comment on this profound statement. And I asked the newspaper, I think it was the Times, did they want one-line answer? Oh, they said, please, we want a one-line answer. So I'm afraid I was rather cheeky, and I suggested, okay then, atheism is a fairy story for people afraid of the light. Now, you shouldn't laugh, because if you've been following my argument, you'll see those statements prove nothing. We need to look deeper. So let's have a look and see what's going on here. Isaac Newton is a very good person to think about because he discovered the law of gravitation and he put it into his book Principia Mathematica. And for him, it was a wonderful reason to believe in God. When he discovered his mathematical description of the universe, he did not say, I have a scientific explanation, therefore I do not need God. No. He said, what a marvelous God to do it that way. And the more he understood of the universe, the more he admired the God that had done it that way.